Hey guys, first off, I want to say I hope you had a wonderful Christmas slash New Year's, and hopefully this year is at least 25% less horrible than the last. Now that's the end of that New Year's and Christmas, as I just said. Things are a lot less hectic, so hopefully I can push more videos out there. Although I didn't couldn't get as many videos as I would like last year, I did get a lot of writing done. So what I'm going to say is that for January, to push myself, there's going to be 2 videos a week, one on Saturday and one on Sunday for each week for the month of January, which means six videos this January, and then February we're gonna go back to 1 video a week, sometimes two if I'm able to push it. But this week and every week for January, 2 videos, Saturday and Sunday. Starting February, the regular schedule of 1 video a week. That out of the way. Also, sorry if you hear a hiss in the background. That's my heater. I cannot turn it off because I cannot. That's fate. What else are we going? Another thing I want to mention for some of you who don't know, there is another YouTube channel called TNG Productions, and they also like me do videos about different war games and stuff like that. But they also love do a lot of videos on a particular game called Malifaux. For those who don't know, I did a video on the lore of that game somewhere up there. But basic gist, it's a sort of Western but gothic type feeling universe set in an alternate universe Earth, but also takes place in another dark universe called Malifaux. And honestly, reading it through, it's a very fun universe, very dark. Not grim dark like Warhammer 40k, but every character, no matter how good they may be, have to do morally questionable things to survive. So that's fun. And in this game, you don't play just a generic character. Every group that you play as on the tabletop is an actual character with their own story and backstory within the game, which makes it very interesting take on it. And honestly, additionally, each group of units is like very different from each other. So it's give it a look. Go to his what was I saying? Sorry, it's like 8 o'clock right now, and I'm very tired. But I wanted to get this video out here. What I wanted to say is, on his channel, he has a series of videos on the various masters, as they're called, the various characters in that game. And on those videos, I do a small intro on the background of that character, followed by him reviewing like the mechanics of that character and his or her crew. So if that's something you definitely want to check it out, go ahead and do so. It's a fun ride. Link to it somewhere up here probably, and definitely down below. What else? Right. I know some of you have been clamoring for me to do a miniature war game on this, and I'm happy to say it's going to happen eventually. We and my friends of mine from the podcast I do, the role-playing podcast I may have mentioned a couple of times before, Fanable, is going to, my friend David and Dan are going to be working with me to do a Gasland game and do it for the channel. And honestly, reading through it, I'm having a lot of fun. I'm having fun with what sort of cars I can paint up and the backstory of these cars trying to run a death race in a Mad Max style universe where Earth has been subjugated by evil Martian corporations, or just corporations, that are basically have taken over the Earth and basically turned the entire Earth into some like grand show for their entertainment. It's a fun ride. I think that's all I have to mention off the top of my head, but yeah, that's all for the 2022 update. 6 videos this January. Go to TNG Productions to watch videos on Malifaux and other war games, and also videos with intros from me. And future game of Gaslands. And honestly, I think not only Gaslands, but I think in the future, after Gaslands, if we ever, I don't know if we're going to do a long-term campaign or maybe a one-shot. It depends on how things go. I might do other like system agnostic games. The type of games where basically all I need is a rule book and we can buy or like modify our own figures. I think I kind of like that. Not to say that I'm not going to play more traditional games. I still have that Warhammer Age of Sigmar army that I still need to paint up that I couldn't get around to before because, well, if you guys paint armies, you know why you never get around to it. You stop it for a minute because of life, and then life prevents you from touching it again, and then you think of many different excuses not to get back into it because you see that giant army in front of you, and you feel very daunted because you should have just bought like a few units, but you bought an entire pile of units, and then you see that massive pile, and like, oh, I'm very intimidated by this massive pile of units. Why didn't I just build like just one unit of like just gunners, or maybe just a ship? I should have gotten a fucking just one carried on over to a ship. I could have just gotten a ship, but no, I had to buy an entire army I have to paint up. And looking at it is I'm on a rambling, but that's it. So thanks for stick with me through all the delays and everything. More videos this week. Thank you for everything, and see you guys next time.